You're going to have to stay.
Where? Oh, that's bizarre. There's two accounts on our account that don't have names. They just have 4 and 5 numbers. I thought they were the two we deleted, which was, well, the two that aren't here anymore. But I guess one of those must be Renee. Huh? Anyways, it doesn't matter. So the reason I did the stats was just to see who's getting the best responses. Actually, Susan's, for not having sent too many messages, had the highest response rate out of anyone on Indeed. Me and Chris would probably be second. So what I wanted to go through is just what we're sending out to candidates to maybe help you bridge the gap between what you're sending and what might be more helpful. I can't see what anyone else is sending to candidates, so I have no opinion, or maybe you're just messaging harder candidates. I really don't know, but just wanted to do a little follow up. If anyone has any questions, interrupt me, please. This is kind of cool when you get a response back from somebody and they give you their information. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see the exact email that was sent to them, and you can marry that up to the message template. Let me see here that you're sending. Right there. So you can see here that when you're sending a template, you actually have choice to put whatever company you're coming from. So if I'm messaging an automotive person, I change this company right there to say Automotive Personnel Network. If I'm messaging healthcare, I put APN Staffing. You can make your name be, I don't know why you would want to, but you could make it say Nick Mazer instead of Nicholas M if you really wanted to for whatever reason. And you could save it per template with your edits, however you want it to be. So the high candidate name, obviously, it pre-fills their first name in there. If you look at what they put in originally, it said, I found your resume on Indeed. Please see the job description below. It's like something really generic. I go in there and put some other stuff in there that makes it more personal. I have an opportunity with my favorite client in the East Valley that's looking for a strong blah, blah, blah. I'd love to chat briefly. This facility has amazing benefits. See below in the job description. And I get a huge response rate from that. Down below, where you have title of job opening, you can either put this in yourself and then add a little job description, which is what I like to do, or you can actually go find the job if we've ever posted it on Indeed and click on it, and it'll pre-fill the actual job description that the ad has. I don't like doing that because I think it gets too big and bulky and they're not looking at ads, you're messaging them. So I just put something really quick, one sentence, looking for a strong next-gen EPM professional with revenue cycle experience, and then I list out some of their benefits because it happens to be Gila. That seems to be the selling point. If you look back over at that email, you can see exactly how it shows up on their end when they get the email. Hi, Julie. The couple sentences we talked about, the job title, the company I'm calling from, and then whatever you put in that job description part. And then they have a button to either confirm they want to talk to you or decline. I don't know. I don't think so. Not from what I can see. Okay, so that's what a candidate sees. So I kind of went through what I write for the next gen person. I think that getting a little bit more personal is also going to get you a lot more responses. If I said, this isn't the right person, but if I said to a person, hey, I see your experience at Next Gen Healthcare Systems and you live in Phoenix, this might be a really good fit to you, you're going to get a lot better of a response rate off something like that than sending a generic message, from what I hear. Pharmacist, where's the pharmacist one? Something I wrote to the pharmacist was I put right in the title, 7 on, 7 off, hoping that I was going to get somebody interested in that type of a unique schedule, right? And I had a pretty good response off of this. Once again, down in the job description, I didn't put anything in really that special. I just wrote staff pharmacist with hospital experience, minimum 1 year. And then I wrote the benefits. You have a 7 on, 7 off schedule, paid for accommodation. They also do have permanent placement available. And then up in the message, we're looking for a staff pharmacist with hospital experience to look at a great opportunity with a brand new facility in the Tucson area. 7 on, 7 off is available with paid for accommodations on a contract basis. Permanent also available. Let me know if you entertain a brief conversation. And what I was trying to do was set a wide net. If you're only looking for contract work, that's going to interest you. If you're looking for a permanent opportunity, that's going to interest you. if you're not looking for rural areas, but you'd want a bigger city, I put Tucson. So that's going to interest you. It allows me to still get their information, talk to them. And then if they're not a good fit for Sierra Vista, they're not a good fit for Sierra Vista. But you're casting a wider net.
So you're trying to get people what it comes up to.
Yeah, and they have a whole help section on how to message people, webinars. I mean, it's a lot of people pay for this, and a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to get people to respond the best way. And unfortunately, I think using the generic job descriptions that we have in there is probably not it. Another thing that I did, if you're just doing some general sourcing, let's say, he asks you to go find some title clerks in California. I did this and I put 20 title clerks in the system all around California. And all I wrote in there is I found your resume on Indeed. We work for various auto dealerships in the California market. I would love to briefly chat with you to see if we might have an opportunity that fits your needs. And then in the description, I just wrote great pay, qualifications, you need to be an automotive title clerk. No, I select the whole page once you save the template. And that's the next thing I was going to go over. Does everybody have a pretty clear understanding of how to add templates, edit templates, delete templates? Yeah? Okay, well, I'll run it through real quick just so we can send out the video. But if you have a template on here, what I did was I went through, I put in my message, I edited this message part, and I edited the job description. Down here is where you put the title of what your template to be. You click on the save, and when you click send email, it saves it as template. It's there the next time. Now, if you want to take this same title clerk and edit it just a little bit, put in testing, whatever, and then you could make this testing. As soon as you send that email, you're now going to have a second template that is called testing. You're still going to have your title clerk one that I did. I didn't override that. I didn't change that or delete that. I just added a new one. I saved it as a new template. If you ever want to go and manage all your templates, right next to Save As Template, there's a little Manage button. If you click on that, well, it's supposed to go somewhere. It shows all the different templates that you've saved or played around with or whatever you've done. The absolute last thing I wanted to go over, and we've talked about it before, there's this little PCR capture Google Chrome extension, and I think we've used it. I think I did a training on it one time about how to take people directly from LinkedIn, and you can capture them right into PCR. You can choose what company you put them in at. It takes their LinkedIn profile, takes their photo with it, takes everything. Well, you can do the same thing from Indeed. If you is she not working there? So once you're on a candidate that actually has messaged you back, little button down at the bottom, as long as you're signed in up here. If you reboot your computer, you're gonna have to log in, put in your username, your password again. But there'll be a little thing down at the bottom. Click on it, and it'll pull up a sidebar of how to put them in PCR. Mm-hmm. So usually, see how where it says possible matching records, no possible duplicates found? If there was somebody else that had a similar name to that, it would come up there and say, hey, are you about to put in a duplicate candidate, or is this really a new person? And then you can decide to either override something, add to it, or add as a new record. This is a new record, so I'll put in new record, and it pops up. Unfortunately, it doesn't really seem to be smart enough to pull the phone and the email there, but I just copy it, take the phone, add phone, put it in a cell phone, right-click, paste it. And the neat thing is there's an actual Indeed URL link, just like there is for LinkedIn. And it's on there. I mean, whether you see it or not, I updated my PCR on the healthcare side to show these 4 fields. They're there regardless of whether you have them shown on your people or not. But it'll have. Well, the one on the left doesn't have Indeed. The one on the left, it is the same for Facebook and LinkedIn, but Zoom Info and Indeed do not have parts in the social media. But there still are fields for it in PCR. And every name has that field, regardless of who they are. They just are probably blank for the most part, and we're just not showing them. But it saves that URL, and then at any point in time, you can always go back to the URL where they sent you their contact information. It's saved in PCR. It's just like a URL for a LinkedIn profile to save exactly where you got them from. I don't know how how necessary that is or not, but it's kind of a neat little feature. It'll pull all this information over. You can choose what company to put them in, and then they're in PCR. And then all you have to do is rock over to PCR, upload the resume, and you're done without having to do really any input. Any questions? You still have to physically download this resume, save it, and then physically upload it into PCR. Absolutely. But at least you don't have to go add the record and type her name in and type in all her email and her number and all that stuff. It'll save you a minute or two. Personal preference, really.
Can you put the company into it?
You can choose. Okay, so in the settings for this, you can choose to have them go automatically to the candidate, or you can choose to have it ask you every time what company to put you in. So you could select, and like this first and worst at Phoenix Children's, I could put them in right at Phoenix Children's.
Okay.
Not very hard either to just move the record after it, but there is a way to do it. Marcia, Christine, I'll send you guys the recording. Probably couldn't see a whole lot of it or understand a whole lot of it, but any questions? Okay.
Okay. Christine, Marcia, I need help helping you guys with this.